Beating the Bookmakers. Author D. Selzer-McKenzie. In order to maximize your long-term profits, it is crucial that you have numerous accounts with different bookmakers and always make sure you are taking the best price. You should have accounts with Ladbrokes, Hills, Paddy Power, Stan James, Skibet, Blue Square, B365, Betfred, Boyle Experts, Sporting Bit, BetDirect, Corals, Tote and Victor Chandler, as these will be the companies whose prices I recommend. Centrebet are an Australian-based firm who have grown quite a bit over the last few years, and I also recommend you open an account with them. All of the above are safe and secure to bet with, and all offer various forms of free bets when you first open an account. Most bookmakers bet to around 110% on the match odds of many European leagues. This means that they have worked out the percentage chances of each event occurring in any particular game and added on a 10% profit margin. This makes it very difficult to make profit from betting with just one bookmaker, as even if they get their prices wrong, they have to be more than 10% wrong to give you a fair chance of beating them. Those who just use their local high street shop have virtually no chance of long-term success. However, if you have 10 accounts with 10 different bookmakers, the differences in opinions between the bookmakers on some games can erode the margin you are facing down to practically nothing. When there is a big move for something and certain bookmakers are slow to react, the odds can then swing in the punter's favor, and you can lock in a profit by backing all three outcomes with different bookies. We'll use a hypothetical fixture between Aston Villa and Everton as an example, with the following bookmakers offering the following prices: Villa 11/10, 48%, Draw 11/5, 31%, Everton 11/5, 31%. Ladbrokes. Villa 10/11, 52%, Draw 11/5, 31%, Everton 11/4, 27%. Betfred. Villa 4/5, 56%, Draw 12/5, 29%, Everton 3/1, 25%. Each bookmaker is betting to 110%, but if you take the best prices for each outcome from across the three bookmakers, you get Villa 11/10, 48%, with Skibet. Draw 12/5, 29%, with Betfred. Everton 3/1, 25%, with Betfred. These three prices only add up to 102% rather than 110%, so straight away by shopping around for the best price you have eroded 8% of the margin. We will continue to use this hypothetical fixture as an example and introduce a scenario where Tim Cahill, Phil Neville, Lee Carsley and Andrew Johnson pick up a virus for Everton the day before the game and are unable to play. Betfred and Ladbrokes pick up on this information and both firms cut their prices to Villa 4/6, 60%, Draw 13/5, 28%, Everton 7/2, 22%. Skibet, however, are slow to pick up on this information and do not cut their price until 1 hour later. Therefore, the best prices available for that hour are Villa 11/10, 48%, Skibet. Draw 13/5, 28%, Betfred and Ladbrokes. Everton 7/2, 22%, Betfred and Ladbrokes. These prices add up to 98%, and present punters with an opportunity to lock in a 2% profit regardless of the result by taking the three best prices available. Betfair is another account every serious gambler should have. They are a betting exchange to allow you to bet against other punters by backing or laying any outcome. Because they are not a bookmaker, there is no built-in profit margin and they make their money by taking 2 to 5% of your winnings depending on how many loyalty points you build up with them. The more money you put through the site, the less commission you pay. They advertise that on average their prices are 20% better than you can get with bookmakers, and therefore it is well worth a relatively small commission charge. This is true to an extent but slightly misleading. Generally Betfair will be the best price, but when it comes to backing a favorite, the difference between Betfair and the bookies is rarely 20%. It is generally a big enough difference to make it worthwhile having the bet with Betfair rather than the bookie though. Outsiders on the other hand are often a much bigger price on Betfair than they are with the bookies. You should always check the price on Betfair when I make a recommendation, as it may be bigger than the recommended bookmaker price. Another useful tool for gamblers is shop coupons. These are often printed days in advance of the fixture, and the prices will still be available in a shop even though they have been cut online. Some bookmakers are very sly however and will accept your bet on the coupon and then pay you at the new lower price. They are supposed to tell you if a price is no longer available, yet the poorly paid and unmotivated staff will often not bother until it comes to paying out. Therefore I only recommend Ladbrokes and Hill's shop coupons, as if you get the bet on they will pay you at the coupon price. Messages are sometimes sent to shops telling staff that limits have been imposed on certain teams. Using the Villa v Everton game from before as an example, Ladbrokes might send a message to shop staff that customers can only have a maximum of £100 on Villa at the coupon price of 10/11, and anything over £100 will have to be at 4/6. If you want £200 on Villa, then simply say you only want £100 and then walk down the road to the next Ladbrokes shop and put the second £100 on there. Obviously this is much more difficult if you live in rural areas. If there is any sort of dispute with the shop, just phone up customer services and complain. I have a friend who used to work for Ladbrokes customer services a few years ago, and apparently they have a cupboard full of free bet vouchers to give out to anyone who has a legitimate complaint. They are very keen to keep the customer happy, so it's always worth giving them a ring. Anyone who has had any success with their football betting will know that eventually bookies start to get upset when you start winning on a regular basis. Bookies call these people unprofitable customers, and they will restrict how much money you can get on by factoring your account down. Going back to the Villa v Everton game again, Sky Bet's maximum bet per customer on the internet might be set at £1,000. An unprofitable customer might be factored to half of what a regular customer can get on and might only be allowed £500. Depending on how unprofitable you are, you might be restricted to a tenth or even less, and at this stage some accounts become literally unusable. There's more than one way to skin a cat though, and with most bookmakers you can simply open a new account with a different credit/debit card in your own name and carry on regardless. Some might realize it's the same account quite quickly, and a few will do IP address checks to see where you are placing the bet from and link you to other accounts at that IP address. Your account will last longer if you change your surname too, as some traders might remember the old one. It's best to set your surname to something unremarkable too, such as a set of numbers or maybe a foreign name, as it is less likely to stick in a trader's memory. If your surname is Bookie-72, or something along those lines, then traders are much more likely to remember you having a bet on that dodging on-league game last week and decide to restrict your account. Another way around bookies limits is opening a shadow account in a partner/family member's name, as this will be very difficult to link to your other account unless they run an IP address check. Obviously get the permission of your partner/family member first. A further option if you are having trouble getting bets on is betbrokers.com. They have been operating for a couple of years now and can be quite useful.